You, Suyash. Thank you.
Namaste, everyone, and welcome to the workshop. I'm Suyash, and I head the marketing and branding for And Academy. So I'm sure by now you would have interacted with a lot of our counselors or your respective counselors, and they would have, given you the general spiel about what An Academy is all about. But I would like to take this opportunity and give you a little bit of a story and history of where we came from, who we are, just so that, you understand what you are enrolling yourself into. So at And Academy, we have three pillars, that is accessibility, affordability, and industry ready. I'll circle back and I'll tell you what these three mean and why they are core pillars. So let me first start with our history and our background. Uh, we started from IID, and as you would all know, 2 years back, COVID hit us, and all of us had to adapt and execute things. Similarly, at IID, by the way, Prachi, who was our head of academics, was also the course leader for the foundation students. And with Prachi's help and with the esteemed faculty that we have at IID, we were able to adapt to the new, teaching methodology and include a lot of technology in that as well. And based on that, we were able to create and execute a plan wherein all these students that we had in IID who were supposed to come to the campus but couldn't make it because of COVID were able to get the education, like a similar education as they would have received if they were physically in the classroom. So that is how we came up with and academy. Basically, that was the thought process, and the learnings that we received from there is what we transformed into and academy. And that is our endeavor, trying to make it accessible and affordable by making it online, so that you don't have to pay the extra amount of money to attend a brick and mortar classroom. And at the same time, it's accessible by through ways of online, where you can actually access the course material from anywhere around the world, as long as you are in front of a computer. And industry relevant by ensuring that not only do you get industry practitioners, you get expert guidance, and by the end of the course you would have a portfolio that is worthy, that any employer, once they see your portfolio, they would definitely want to hire you. So that is the three pillars that we try and upkeep, and that is what we always inspire towards. So without any further ado, let me introduce to my dear colleagues Prachi Mithu, who is the deputy head of academics. She's a designer, educator, and researcher with over 20 years of experience. And she was one of the original graduates from NIFT, one of the first batches of NIFT in New Delhi. Armed with a PG certification in higher education from Kingston University, London. She is the alma mater at And Academy. And she is the driving force behind all the curriculum and all the course material that you would be going through with your various course leaders for each and every course. I also have along with me Soumya Tiwari. She has a bachelor's in communication design from Symbiosis Institute of Design and a master's in art direction from Manchester Metropolitan University in London. Manchester. Soumya has worked with some of the biggest production houses like Yashraj Films and Reliance, and she would be the course leader for graphic design. With this, over to you, Prachi and Soumya. Please take it away.
Thank you, Suyash. It's always a little unnerving to listen to your own introduction, but thank you for that illustrious introduction. Welcome, everybody, and I hope the next hour and 20 minutes can be meaningful for you to understand what And Academy is offering to you as a learning opportunity. So, Amir, if we can just switch to the objective slide. Thank you. This is what we aim to do today in the next 1 hour and 20 minutes. We want to provide you with a little glimpse of the and way of learning design, right? Like Suyash spoke about, that and's focus is making education accessible through online learning. And I understand that there must be lots and lots of inhibitions about how would you learn something as practical as design online. And it's fair for you to first want to understand or get a glimpse of how this would happen before you sign up for a course. That's something that we would like to do today. And how do we do that? We give you a feel of some of the digital platforms that we will use and let you experience the interactive and collaborative online learning. That's the objective with which we are going to work today. And but for that, this is not a lecture. This is not where Suyash and I and Soumya just keep talking to you. This is where we will almost stop talking, where you start getting active. And Soumya, if we can go to the some norms page, I want you to pay attention, because this is what I am expecting from all of you in the next 1 hour and 20 minutes. I want you to interact. And for that, can we quickly have everybody's videos, the cameras on, so that we can see whom we are talking to. You can keep your mics off, but just let's see everybody interact, because when we see each other, we become familiar and we become open to interacting. If you don't interact in today's sessions, you will see how there are different ways in which we will interact. You won't fully understand the and way of learning, right? Pay attention, stay engaged. So don't put this on to, like how I put on the music or I put on the television sometimes when I'm brushing my teeth, combing my hair, it's happening in the background. This is not that kind of a webinar. You need to stay engaged, pay attention, interact with us. Please keep your cameras open. Allow yourself to be seen. If you want to sign up for an online course, which bases itself in live sessions, then we all have to be seen and heard, right? So I can see that some of you are still not, have not switched on your cameras. It'll be great if you can do that, right? Don't worry about what's behind you. Don't worry how your hair is looking. It doesn't matter, right? And just keep your mics on mute while others are speaking so that there is no interference on that, okay? And that's all. That's the instructions from my end. Pay attention, stay engaged, interact. Soumya, let's move on. Suyash has already given you a very quick overview of how we teach at AND in terms of what we do. But let me just set the context by saying that I'm, as a design educator, as a design professional myself who've practiced and went through a traditional design learning, I know that design involves many higher order thinking functions. It involves creativity, it involves strategic thinking, logical thinking. And when you have to learn all of this, it requires guidance. And how do we make it possible? We make it possible through this human interface that we bring in. Soumya, can we just scroll down, please? Right? So what we do is that we bring to you real world design projects you work on. So it's not just going to be about you listening or watching. You will have to be working actively on real world design projects. What I mean by that is small briefs which resemble the way a professional in the industry would be working on briefs. And for you to work on those briefs, you need human support, which means you need the support of your peers as well as your mentors. And because we are all sitting in separate locations, how do we interact? Technology becomes that bridge for us. Soumya, next scroll, please. Right? So this is how we create the human support. You have live instructor-led sessions by industry practitioners, something like today. That's like a small exemplar, okay? You get to interact with mentors and peers. Learning is a social activity. It's difficult to learn in isolation. It's difficult to exist in isolation and even more difficult to learn in isolation. You need to interact with people. That's why we cannot learn just by reading books or listening to videos or just that's a one-way process. So we provide you opportunities to interact with mentors and peers, and you're going to witness and participate in a few ways in which we will do this in just a few minutes. You will get feedback on your work, because how do you learn design? This is how I learned design. I learned design by doing, by making lots of mistakes, by seeing how my peers were working, what were they doing, discussing ideas with them, taking my work in progress to my teachers, getting feedback from them, understanding from them what else I could have done. That is the way design is taught and learned. So this is how we bring the human support. And because we are sitting in separate locations, we need a bridge for us to talk to each other, for us to interact with each other. And technology creates that bridge, right? So we have a learning management system. Right now, you are on, what you're seeing is our learning management system. Right now, because you're not a student of AND, you are seeing it on your screen. You would actually have, just as you have any other website platform that you can go to anytime, think of this platform, what you're seeing on your screen, you would have a login ID, and with that login ID you would be able to enter our space, digital space like this. Here you will be able to access all information about your class schedules, your study material, assignments. This is where you will make submissions, you will receive your feedbacks all at one place. So you log into this, just as you log into your Instagram account, you log into your Facebook account or any of those, you log in and you'll have access. At the end of the session, we'll also take you through a detailed walk through this space. And that's not all. We also use several other digital platforms, and you're going to be working on one of them today, live from wherever you are sitting. You're going to be working on one of the digital platforms, and you will see that how that facilitates for us to interact with each other and learn with each other and not alone. Soumya, next, please. Yeah, so that's pretty much what is the base of AND Academy's learning teaching methodology: human support facilitated through technology. And without much ado, let's move to the next one, Soumya, and let's start with the first activity. And I'm going to hand over to Soumya to take you through the first activity, right?
Yeah. Hi everyone. So today we'll be using one of the tools that you will be using while learning with us. It's called Miro. What Miro is essentially is it's a whiteboard that's online. So what it allows you to do is it will really help you to collaborate while you're working as a group. As an instructor, it allows me to look at your work and comment on it as well. Without speaking much, let me just show you what it looks like. I'll just quickly demonstrate how you will use it. And after the demonstration, I would request Prachi ma'am to just put a link to this board in the chat. So you'll be able to access it then. Yeah, so once you're on the link, this is what you will see. Now here you'll be able to see some post-its. What you need to do is you need to select one of them. Say I pick the color green. I'll press Alt on my keyboard and just drag it here. Okay, now when I double click on it, it will allow me to type in text. So I'll just write my name here. So this is basically a quick introduction that we're doing just to get to know each other. So I'm Soumya. Then I'll duplicate this again and write this and follow the same, the course that I am interested in. And a few adjectives about myself. So I'll just say sincere. Yeah, creative. Kind. So don't be afraid, just go on and brag about yourselves. We won't judge. So this is just for you to get a hang of the tool, and then post this, we'll be using it to work on a group activity. I would just request Prachi ma'am to share the link. Yeah, I think you have it. All of you can access it. If you could just click on the link, and if you have any concerns regarding using the tool, feel free to unmute yourself and ask us. Also, when you're using the tool, just make sure you've sort of put this undermine. Yeah, great.
Yeah, great. So I'm encouraging everybody to go on the on Miro, because in the next act, this is like a practice task. Okay, this is just to, like Soumya said, this is just to help you get a hang of how to work on Miro. There's going to be a design task that we are going to work on in the next 5 minutes, and this will help you learn that. Okay, so let's just quickly do it. Don't worry about making a mistake. If you're Soumya and I are on the board, if you make a mistake, we are there to correct it. Don't worry. This is the first time in all probability that you are going on Miro. And you can see that there are so many of us who are already, started to work. Don't worry about alignments and all that. That happens with a little bit of practice. Awesome, Soumya.
Yeah, so once you're on the board, you will be able to see a lot more people who are working with you. So that's the beauty of this tool, that you're all working together, even when you're like sat in your own homes in a separate environment. But this is where you connect, like this is your physical classroom on a board.
So I'm going to compliment Shilpa, Dipali, Achya, Aparna for being the starters in this. Fantastic. And I'm going to wait for some of you to quickly get on there, because this practice is important, right? This practice is important. And before we go into the next activity, which is the main activity, this is like a practice warm-up activity, right? And I want everybody to be participating in this. Come on. Soumya, they're all copying your kind, I can see.
It's difficult to just brag about yourself. No, I think this is the most difficult thing to do.
If I ever get to meet them now, I'm going to throw a lion in front of them and then see what they're going to be. I'm going to do that. Come on, quickly, guys. I'm waiting for I know there are many participants. There are close to 25 participants, but I only see on Miro some of you. So you're going to be not able to work in the next task, because that time Soumya and I are not going to help you. We are going to help you during this time. So I implore all of you to go and, practice this. And I can just tell you that Miro is a platform that is extensively used in the design industry, because design agencies have to collaborate. There are several, within a team, there are several people who have to collaborate, think together, make customer journey maps, do brainstorming, all of those kind of things. And Miro is used. Then they use it to collaborate with their clients and share their ideas with clients. So when you work on Miro, you actually get initiated into the design industry, right? So, okay, so for those of you who haven't yet gone, this is the last 1 minute that I'm going to give you. There is a link in the chat. Please follow the link, get onto Miro, and the instructions are also there. When you go on Miro, you will see the instructions if you somehow missed the instructions. So Amya, maybe you can add a few more post-its. I think they've exhausted the post-its. They probably did not press a Alt.
Sure.
And if you can just leave a few more post-its for them. Yeah, come on. So there are many post-its you can just take, start putting. So Arsha says she's thorough, curious, and what? Determined. Wow. And I can see, so you can also see from here, there are people who are interested in the same course as yours. And Dipali, are you from Bangalore or Vadodara? I see both places.
Yeah, so I keep switching between these two cities basically.
Great. Which place do you like more, Vadodara or Bangalore?
Yes, during summer, definitely Bangalore.
Nice, Dipali. Okay, Soumya, I think we've given them. So Vibha says, I'm not able to do this. Vibha, can you unmute and help me understand why you're not able to do this?
Hi, actually, I don't know why I'm not able to open the link and I'm not able to do this because I'm using phone or like, I don't know.
Because you're using phone, you're not able to do it?
Yeah.
So do you have a laptop, desktop, tablet?
Currently, I'm not having. That's why I'm using phone.
Yeah. You should be, I don't know, I've never used Miro on my phone. I usually use it through an app. I've not used it following a link on my this thing. Try it again. That's all that I can help you. Otherwise, you'll throughout the workshop, you'll just have to be in a watch mode. You won't be able
Yeah, sure.
yeah, just try.
I'll try it again.
So thanks.
Even I am unable to do anything since I'm on my phone.
So maybe what you could do, you could maybe try copying the link and pasting it in your browser.
Yeah.
Maybe that could help.
Just
Okay.
yeah, copy the link from here.
I'll just try it once again.
Yes, thanks so much. Martina says, can you please share the link again? Okay, Martina, I'm going to do that. I've just done that, Martina. Yeah. And by the way, there's a lot more that can happen on Miro. Huh? This is not, I mean, this is just the simplest of things that you just pick up a post-it. For today, we are asking you to do this. You can make these very interesting customer journey maps, flow charts, mind maps. You can write, you can create little diagrams. It's not a design software. It's a collaborative workspace. There's a whole lot of other stuff that you can do. And you'll do it once you start working with us. But this is the simplest, just for you to get a hang of things. Okay. So I think we're going to move on, right, and get on with the main activity. So I want everybody to now take their focus away from the Miro board and pay attention to what I'm saying, right? And then so that we can talk about the next activity. And I'm just going to wait for 10 seconds so that everybody's activity on Miro stops and comes here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work on a design task. Okay. We're going to put you into pairs and you're going to be transported from here into a breakout room. Some of you may have experienced a breakout room in the online space earlier or may not. Don't worry. It's just, you don't have to do anything. You will automatically, from this main meeting, you go into, think of it like we are in a building and this is happening in the conference hall and there are small meeting rooms around. And for smaller discussions, sometimes we break out from the main group and go into small rooms to do discussions. So Soumya is going to be putting you into pairs. It's just random pairing. And for just 10 minutes, you will go into a breakout room where we want you to discuss between the two of you. What do you think is the step-by-step process of designing a chair? Okay, not making a chair. So you don't have to talk about that. I'll first take wood, I'll polish it and all. How do you think one would go about designing a chair? Okay. Now remember, there is no one right answer to this question. There can be many right answers. So feel free to share your thoughts, discuss with each other. And what you will do on Miro, Soumya, can you go to the main Miro board? You're going to go to another Miro board, not the one that you were working on earlier. I'll drop another link in the chat. You'll come to this board, right? And you'll do the same. Whichever breakout room you are in, you will go here. You can see these rectangles where Soumya has already put for you breakout 1, breakout 2. Whichever room you are in, right? You go there and you just start making these. So I'm just going to do a little demo for you. You'll see. And I'll do the same thing. Suppose I'm in breakout room 1. I'll take it and that's me, right? And I'll say, I think the step 1 is going to be, I'm not going to give answers, but suppose I was doing this activity and saying that, how do I make chai? So I'm going to say, I'm going to put the gas on or whatever, right? And then I'm going to do another post-it that's going to be my step 2, that I'm going to pour some water, or whatever. Then my third step is going to be that I'm going to let it boil, whatever, so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm just going to delete. You saw how you can keep building your steps like this, whatever you are thinking. And suppose I now want to suddenly think that no, I think in between these two steps there has to be one more step. I'll just click these two, I'll move it in front, I'll bring another post-it here, and I will insert a new, because I think now I will first say measure the water, you know, whatever it might be, whatever I think. Okay, so once you go to the Miro board, first find your stack of which stack of post-its you have to use, and then start doing this. Now I understand that there are some of you, because of you've joined from the phone, you're not able to do this. If you've joined from the phone, in the chat just write that I've joined from the phone and I could not go on the Miro. Quickly do that, because what Soumya will do is she will make sure that you are paired with somebody who has access to Miro. Okay, so anybody who's joined from phone and could not go onto the Miro board earlier, just put your name in the chat right now. Okay, and if you have a question about how we are going to work on this activity, what do we have to do, and so on, just unmute yourself and ask me a question. Is there anybody, or has everybody understood? You know, there is a hand raise function also. You could raise your hand if you have a question, or you could just unmute yourself and ask me a question. And once we'll start the timer. We'll give you 10 minutes to work on this activity.
Yeah, so I wanted to know, we have to design a chair, right?
You don't have to design a chair. You have to just put for me the steps that you would take to design a chair. What do you think is the process, step-by-step process of designing a chair?
Okay.
Okay, what would you do first? What would you do second? What would you do three? Not to make a chair, but to design a chair. What do you think are going to be the steps of making a chair? Okay, steps of designing a chair, sorry. So,
Prachi, do we have any limit on the number of notes we can use?
No, not at all. And don't worry if you go out of this, the box that Soumya has given you, you can go out of the box also, literally.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just open all the rooms now, so you'll be able to access the rooms. And if you have any concerns, feel free to, drop us a message and we'll visit you and happy to help you there.
So by the way, in the room, it's just going to be the two partners that are there. Okay. So it's not, Soumya and I are not going to be there. The two of you are going to be there. Don't worry. Aram se discuss karo. Put your thoughts. If you want to debate, if you want to fight, do that, resolve the debate, and then put something on the board, and it will be done. Don't worry too much about the outcome. It's more important for you to experience this whole thing. Okay, so I'm just going to put the link of this new board for you. Okay, before you go, Soumya, don't activate the breakout room just yet. Okay, for the main activity, I'm going to put the Miro link in the chat. It's wait. Okay. Pick the link, open the link, and then Soumya will activate the breakout rooms. You will exit from here, you'll go there, we'll start the timer. In 10 minutes, you will be back in this space. Soumya, you can activate the breakouts. Khushbu and Swagita, you would have got a little this thing on your screen. Maybe you can go and join Anjali and Brito. Anjali both. Soumya, Anjali is assigned to 2 rooms. Can you see Anjali Bothra is assigned to room 1 and 4 both. Maybe you can.
Okay.
So room 4, she's joined room 1. You can remove her from room 4.
Sure.
And what I'm doing is that I'm moving Brito because he's only in one of the.
Already moved him.
So maybe we can move him to room number 3. Okay, I see that everybody is. There's only Swagita who hasn't. Swagita, can you unmute and help me understand why you're not joining a. Mayur, Swagita. So I'm moving Shilpa also to room 3 because she's all by herself there.
Yogita and Nagesh are also not being able to join.
Yeah, so they'll. I'm hoping that they will. Again, Shilpa. Mayur, can you help me understand Mayur and Nagesh? Everybody else, I think, is working. Hmm. So it's okay, Nagesh. In room number 3, if he will join, he will join. He does. Just have you put the timer on? Let's put the timer on to 8 minutes. I'm just going to do a remote. Soumya, do you want to just visit room 2? Because there are 4 people in room 2, just to see that,
Sure.
Huh? And I'll remotely monitor the Miro board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Himanshu, Jain, Nagesh, and Prem Sagar. Can I request you to either... So Mayur, you should please join the breakout room at least and tell your thoughts to the... I'm going to... you are already assigned to room number 6. Join the room and then do this. Okay, so Yogita, if you go in room number 3, there is Shilpa and Yashna who are working there, and they would do something. Yeah, I can see their work on Miro happening. So Yogita, you need to go and join the room. Okay, they are working there. I can see them work on the Miro. So Agita, you can also join in the meeting room so that you can at least participate in the exercise. Okay. You may not be able to go on Miro. You will be able to share your thoughts, and they will, your teammates will put.
Hello?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, Prem sir, actually I've joined now. Actually, I was stuck in traffic. I came now.
Okay, you've just joined now.
What happened actually, I don't know. Still now.
Frame, right?
Yes.
So we are working on an activity in which people are in a certain breakout room and they are discussing the step-by-step process of designing a chair, and there is only 2 minutes left for that activity. So I'm going to put you into a breakout room. Go and contribute to the conversation there. Would you be okay doing that?
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely, I will do it.
Okay, I'm going to assign you to just introduce yourself there and say that you joined late. Contribute to the activity, okay?
Okay, ma'am, definitely.
Yeah. Madhuri, can you unmute yourself and help me understand why you're not in a breakout room? Did you join late, Madhuri? Hi, Madhuri. Can you help me understand your struggle?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, please tell me.
Hello?
Yes, please. Did you join in late?
Yes.
Okay, so Madhuri, what I'm going to do is right now, everybody, all the participants, they are in breakout rooms and they're working on an activity. There are just 2-3 minutes left for that activity. I'm still going to put you into a breakout room and you can contribute to the conversation over there, and then come back to this main room, and then you can continue with us. Is that all right with you?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Prachi ma'am, should I switch the breakout rooms off now? I think they're
What do you think? What do you think? There is enough work that they've done, na?
Yeah.
You know. So I think we can do that. We can do that. Let's switch it off. Let's bring them back here, and then I'll do a wrap up. And you'll have to reshare your screen because. Okay, welcome back. Those of you who have come back, welcome back to the main conference. And we're just going to wait for others to come back from the activity, from the breakout rooms. And I'm very curious to get a quick update from some of you who managed to participate. How was this? And a good idea would be for you to raise your digital hand, not your physical hand, but your digital hand, and let me know that you'd like to share something. You can also type it in the chat, or you can let me know while I wait for everybody else to come back. Anybody, any volunteer who'd like to share with me the experience of working on Miro, not just breakout room, but on Miro, working with people you've just met 2 minutes ago? Anybody? Because otherwise
it was really an interesting task. Seriously, maza aaya.
You were able to participate because you were
we interacting. Yeah. We interacted a lot, and like काफी thought process हमारा same था, तो like एक end result काफी satisfied मिला हमको.
Very nice, Vibha. Good to know that. Anybody else? One quick sharing, because I'm going to go back to the activity and do this, but I'm curious to understand how is.
I am actually paired with Vibha. I was actually paired with Vibha, and I agree to her point. We already exchanged numbers, and it was great interacting with her. She suggested so many good points to design a chair.
Okay, great. So which breakout room was this, Sarah and Vibha? What breakout room number was this?
And we were on 5th.
6. Okay, I'm then
5th, ma'am. Sorry.
5. Okay,
yes.
Fantastic. Okay, great. So what we're going to do is, in the interest of time, I'm going to request Soumya to just scroll through some of these. And there's something very interesting that has happened. One is, it always fascinates me as a teacher that, you know, when in design, at least, when you give out a task, everybody will start thinking in a different way. So if you have time, and by the way, you'll have access to this Miro board till midnight today, you can go and see what others did, right? And you'll see that how everybody's thoughts were moving. Okay, so we're not trying to learn something here in terms of learn how to design a chair that you can do when you come and join a course, but for you to experience that how this interaction can happen online. And we don't believe that we just want to tell you this is how you design a chair. The and way of learning is to involve you actively into this thinking process, and then we work out on this. So if Soumya, if I can just request you to stop here, and breakout room 6 started off with something very interesting. The first post-it, if we can read, decide on who we are designing the chair for.
Yes.
That's a good place to start working on. I remember one of the breakout rooms, let me just see which one is, who said deciding the purpose of the chair. or maybe it was this room only, and they later changed. I think Breakout 6 earlier wrote the purpose and then decide who we are designing the chair of. Breakout Room said that sketching the layout of the chair, right? But how do we get to sketching the layout of the chair? How do I first even decide what is going to be that sketch for us, right? And that's something that is worth to be thinking about. Breakout Room also has something similar. They say, let's first understand the requirement. Breakout 3 also said something similar. Plan the kind of chair to be made. Before I can design the chair, I want to know what kind of a chair I'm going to be making. Breakout 7 also said something similar. Identify the target market or target audience. Soumya, can we just scroll to Breakout 7 and read that, right? And I can see Breakout 7 was trying to do a few other things also. They were playing with the arrows and all of that, but that's fine, right? There are a lot of interesting things that you guys have talked about, where you're talking about functionality, durability, sustainability. You're talking about the material, the physical aspects of it, what size, what shape, what material to use, what fabric to be used. But all of these whats get answered through the why. Okay, so I'm going to ask Soumya to go back to to our Canvas interface, and I'm going to try and sum this up. Normally this would be a very long exercise, right? So the process of designing anything. Soumya, you want to just sum it up, that what would be the process of designing anything?
Sure. So the design process is pretty similar for not just designing just a chair, but designing a website or a garment or interiors for a room. So as most of you got it right, the first one is to know the purpose. What are we designing the chair for? What kind of a chair it is going to be? Is it going to be for work? Is it going to be like a lounge chair? Is it going to be for somebody to sleep in? So that is where you begin. Then you conduct a bit of research around what already exists in the market and who are we designing the chair for. Is it a kid? Is it a woman? Is it a man? Is it an old man? So then all of their needs will sort of differ from each other's. And then you look at what, if you're designing a work chair, for example, you look at other work chairs, what is good about them, what you need to work on. Then you will look for a problem here. Is it a work chair for an old man? And then you will start thinking about solutions. That is when you make sketches, draw rough sketches, like a lot of you said. That is envisioning solutions. Then you will, a lot of you also had this point covered, you will test your solution in the market. Whether it is working, is it durable, is it comfortable enough? Based on the research that you conduct here from the market, you will modify your concepts and envision more solutions. So in a typical scenario, you go through this process like a couple of times till you can finalize on a design and then finally build it.
Right. So some of you got some part of it. Now, if you see, it's designing a chair is not the same as making a chair. Soumya, if you can just scroll up a little bit, just scrolling up. Yeah. So when we are teaching design also, it is this process that you start learning, right? You start learning that how do you understand the purpose? It's not as simple as me defining a purpose, right? How do you go about conducting the research so that you completely understand who your user is, who your competition is, what your market is, what are your production facilities. There is a method to the way we go about doing this research. Envisioning a solution, which Soumya spoke about, making quick drawings. It's not just about coming up with one idea. You come up with many ideas. How do I come up with many ideas? How do I test the solution? Right? And then how do I modify my concept? Now, all of these things is what you need to learn when you actually learn to design. It's not about learning to, if I want to be a chair designer, it's not about learning how to work with wood only. It's about all of these things, understanding the process of design. And that's what is basically the content of any course, whether you're planning to pick up UX design with us, communication design, graphic design, interior design. Actually, that's the process any design course should be teaching you, right? And that's where we are going to be closing this activity. As I said, that it was a very quick, just a glimpse of how learning would happen. So we could have started by telling you this is the process of design, right? But right at the beginning, if you remember, when Suyash was also introducing And Academy, he spoke about that we believe in collaborative, interactive learning. Now, it is simpler for me to record a video or put this on some website and share with you. This is the process, do it. But when I engage you, when you work on Miro like this, when you discuss, you think of your ideas. If this was a longer session, we would have discussed with each other that, how can we improve what you all have listed. In the interest of time, we just quickened the process, right? Then that's how you learn the process of design, right? And that's the way you will continue to learn with us if you join. Soumya, maybe we can go forward. I'm going to quickly now just quickly talk about, remember right at the beginning, we spoke about human support. We also spoke about technology. And the one thing about technology that we are using is this learning management system that we have, which is Canvas. And Canvas, incidentally, is the same learning management system that is used by some of the top Ivy League colleges in the world. Stanford uses it. Our international partners at IIAD, which is Kingston University, they use it, and several others. We would probably be one of the 2 people in India using Canvas. And what Canvas allows you to do, right, like I said earlier as well, once you join And Academy, you get a login credentials. You log into your Canvas interface, you enter, and Soumya is going to...
Hello?
Can I request whoever that is to go on mute, please? Yes, thank you. Okay, Soumya, can we show our participants the Canvas interface of one of our courses, that how it would look? Okay, so when you join an And Academy course, you get your login credentials. You get onto Canvas, and let's say this is, so for example, this is the module 1 of graphic design course. You would enter, this is what you would enter. This would be your home page. You would see these little drop down menus. You can think of it like the content page of a book, right? And in the first one, you will, Soumya, if you can just drop down something. Yeah, and maybe Soumya, you can continue with the demo from here.
Sure. So as you can see here, what happens when you enter is that this part that says module 1, this will basically have your module number or name or whatever, and this will give you an overview of what you're going to learn. So what do I really mean by an overview? Sorry about that. So this is basically an introduction to the topic that we're going to teach you, the journey that we're going to take. So you will get to see a sort of a timetable through the entire module, how many classes there are going to be, how many assignments there are going to be, when are the dates of submission, so you can plan your life and schedule it accordingly, right? Then we also talk about how you're going to learn it, what will we do, how will you learn it. Then you will have some information about how you're going to learn software as well, which you'll learn on your own. We'll give you all the links to do that. Then this is what a typical week will look like. It will be broken down session wise. So these are basically all your live classes where you'll come online and interact with us. Then you will have a lot more practice assignments that you will have to do on your own. There might be a group discussion that you will need to have. And we'll also give you feedback on all of that. I'll just take you through what a session page will look like. So you will just have like a brief introduction of what you're going to study. You will, have a little information about what is going to happen in the live session. You will have information about what you need to study on your own. If there's a task you need to complete, is there a software that you need to study for this? You will be able to access the sessions recording. If you need to look back at what we've studied in the class, or if you for some reason been unable to attend the session, you can do that here. Then this is what a task might look like. Again, we'll give you information about how much time you will need to put into doing a task, so that again, you can schedule your time. And we know a lot of you are working, so this just helps you to, take out so much time from your day and devote it to studying or practicing design with us. Then this is a brief description of what the task is going to be. So apart from the brief that you've been given in the live session, you can always come back here on Canvas to see what's been happening, right? So what this space allows us to do is whatever we're teaching, you can access it all sitting at your home. If you need to revise, if you need to look back at an assignment, it just becomes like a support system for you, right? I'll also take you through some of the feedback samples. So there's a couple of ways that we can give feedback to you. Like this, you can see is a submission by a student. Here's the instructor's feedback. This person probably needs to resubmit their assignment, which they've done here. You can see they've made it much better based on the feedback that they've been given. The faculty has also, acknowledged the effort that this person has put in. So it could be quite an extensive feedback, or it could be, a little comment that we've made. You can also be graded on a particular assignment. And what it also enables us to do is we can also give you, our feedback on a voice recording, or we can record a video of us giving you feedback. So it's just more easy for you to work back and better your work.
Yeah, so that's I think that should be sufficient, Soumya, for students to get an idea of the kind of interface that you have. So like, if you remember, I spoke about human support, which is interacting with your mentors, interacting with your peers. It's not simply opening a Zoom video where I'm just talking and you're just listening. That's not how the sessions are going to be. And for us to be able to work together, whether during the live sessions and sometimes outside of the live sessions, the bridge is the technology. So we went through Miro, which is one of the digital platforms. Soumya has just given you a demonstration of how the learning management system looks. These are the kind of things that we're going to be using. And that's pretty much about what we wanted to share with you today. And I think I'm going to request Soumya to probably go back to our workshop page. Go to the homes. We can let this, or maybe go to homes, Soumya. Yeah. And I'm going to give the next 10-15 minutes to our participants to ask us questions. If you see, there would be a chat function which you've been using. So I want you to type your questions and send them to us, and I'll try and respond to them. Your questions can be related to what you did today. And then, so maybe we can just go on the course page and let it be there. Yeah. Okay, so the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes are for you guys. I know it's late in the day and I'm sure dinner is waiting for everybody, but Soumya and I are here to answer any questions that you may have for us. So if you have a question, feel free to drop it in the chat. Please type your question and let me see.
So when I was in one of the breakout rooms earlier, I got a question that I would like to address right now. So all of you are sort of aware of it. So what we saw today is not the tools that we are going to use to learn to design. These are the tools that will enable us to interact to learn design, right? Like there are no tools that can teach you design. We are here to do that. You learn design through speaking, through discussions,
Doing.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So these are tools that will help us connect with each other, that will not make you feel like you are, learning in isolation and you're just listening to me talking. So that is the whole point behind using Miro. Like you saw, you could see real time what everybody else was also working on. So that's the purpose of using these tools that you saw today.
So I don't see any questions. Is there anybody who would like to unmute themselves and ask me a question? Because I don't see a question in the chat at least. That means that we have either done a great job today or an absolutely bad job today. Feel free to tell us. Anybody who has a question, please go ahead.
Ma'am, there's a question. There's a question which says, can you share course content for UX?
So please go on to our website. I'm going to drop the link of our website in the chat, and our course content is available on our website. You can download the brochure from there, right? Dhwani, any other question?
Yes, ma'am. Is it necessary to have sketching skills to join an academy for communication and graphic course?
It's not necessary. Yeah, everybody can draw simple shapes, simple this thing, and that's all that is necessary. So you should be able to pick a pencil and put a mark on the paper. That much you should know. If you do know sketching, it will be an added advantage, not because your sketching skills per se are used, but normally people who have a sketching ability have a good visual thinking ability. So that always helps in a design field, okay? But it's not a prerequisite. Martina says that does the interior design course, the online course, enough to be industry ready? Martina, I think we spoke at length about this yesterday during our one-on-one call also. And I think I addressed your question. I don't have anything further to add to that. Yes, all courses at AND are intended to make every student industry ready. If you compare a 6-month online interior design course to a BArch, an architecture degree course of 5 years, I think we will be comparing apples and oranges. But does it make you ready for interior design practice in the industry? Yes, it does. Sarah says, will we be taught sketching? You don't need to learn sketching, Sarah. And design is not about, let me break this myth that design is about sketching, design is about working on softwares. Sketching, softwares, these are tools. You know what a tool is? Like a hammer is for a carpenter. So a carpenter needs to learn how to work on a hammer. Or for an author, writing, for a poet, writing, you communicate through that. So drawing or software is the medium through which you communicate, right? But the actual thing about design learning is the thinking that goes behind design. Design thinking is what you need to learn. So the short answer is that we will not be teaching sketching, but the point is that you don't need to learn sketching. You will learn how to think visually and translate your ideas, visual design into outcomes, deliverables that can be presented to the industry. Dhwani, you're going to help me with the questions.
Yes, ma'am. So there is a question, do you provide internship in communication design?
internship and communication design, right? So sorry, I was trying to read another long question at the same time. So the PG diploma in communication design, first term is on campus full time, where you learn the fundamentals of design. In the second term, there is a mandatory internship. So during the day, you work on an internship on your chosen specialism, right? So you can either choose to specialize in UX, motion graphics, digital brand communication. You work on an internship during the day, and during the evenings, you learn online the specialism that you have chosen, right? So there is that internship. Vibha, I can read, has said, do we need the latest version of laptops? What softwares do we need? You need the Adobe. So Vibha, the list of softwares varies with each course. Yeah, but broadly, if I say, if you have, not for interior design, but for the other courses, broadly, the softwares that you would need are Adobe Creative Suite. So that's Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign. If you have motion graphics, then you'll need to go into XD and so on and so forth. This information is also available in our brochures, by the way, guys, right? Yes, you will definitely need a laptop. And I won't say latest version, but not something which is very ancient.
Also, the creative suite is complimentary with the fees.
Yeah. I wanted to take this question by Anudeep.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Says, Anudeep, my doubt is after the course, how strong the career can be built where there are degrees separately, which is more than 6 months usually. Anudeep, you put a fair point forward, and how I'd like to answer this is that, you know, in food you can have you can have a sandwich, you can have a 7-course meal. So let's not compare apples and oranges.
Okay.
Right? I'm not going to be claiming that in 6 months online course we're going to bring you the same education as that everybody else brings to you in 4 years of degree program, right? There is a different level of deep dive that happens in a 4-year degree program. Also, let's say a 4-year degree program in communication design, which is what we offer at IIAD. You learn all of this. You learn graphics, you learn UX, you learn motion graphics, animation, digital brand communication, branding. So you learn all of these in 4 years. Right? And you also deep dive further. You also learn academic research. You learn all of that in 4 years. But these are short courses which give you learn only UX design. You learn only motion graphics. You learn only digital brand communication, right? But what I can tell you is that you will learn sufficiently to be able to start a career in that.
Yeah, got it.
So it's not a course where you just get a general knowledge about that discipline. You just pick up a few terminologies कि UX के designers ऐसे बात करते हैं, ऐसी कुछ बातें. It won't be that. And for that, what is required is a collaboration, which means that we'll bring some good learning opportunity for you, but how hard you work. So it's not going to stop at only listening to us or working with us during the live sessions. You will take back work home, right? So 6 hours of working with us online every week, and minimum 6 hours of working on your own, on the tasks that we have given, on some readings that we will give out, or some videos that we will give out for you to work on your own. Minimum that has to be put in, you know, for you to get industry ready. If you don't engage and put in your end of the bargain, then I can put the best course and you won't learn.
Yeah. I completely agree with you, ma'am.
Yeah, hi. Just further to the previous question we were discussing. So, okay, I understand if it is one particular UX design or something, then we can go for this, 6-month course. But how about the interior design? Because it mainly includes several other parts, right? It touches graphic design, 3D modeling, and designing, and so many other things, including internship.
No, it doesn't touch. Interior design would not touch graphic design. That's not what, right? Neither does this course, nor does any course on interior design will not touch on graphic design. 3D modeling, not the physical modeling, but you will learn how to create digital 3D models of the space that you are designing, right? That you will learn.
Okay,
you
but
will,
yeah,
you will
yeah.
not learn about graphic design in the interior design course.
Okay, so that's right. So elevation and the space designing, all these things are involved. So in the 6-month course, like without the internship or many workshops, like how well equipped can we become for the industry, to make any career in this?
I told you already. Is that Martina? Martina, is that you? Or somebody else? Who asked that question? Sorry, can you just give me your name, please?
Ma'am,
I haven't heard
Kanti.
the answer part. I think you had discussed with her, I think. So
Actually, you haven't. So, okay, this is a different candidate, right?
Yeah.
So let's schedule a separate, because that's a course level conversation, and please get in touch with the counselor who's there, because then we can schedule a separate call where we can answer your question in more detail. Right now, what I can tell you, in the interest of time, and I have to let everybody get a chance to ask their question, I can tell you that we will make you ready to start work in the industry. Okay.
Ma'am, there's a question. Which course has more demand now and in future?
So I wish I could predict future. And I wish I can, I can say, I can just say this will, that will, but future is dynamic and future will change. So I am not in the business of forecasting future. I can also answer your question simply by saying which course is in demand right now, or maybe what you're asking is which course leads to a career which is in demand right now. And I'm going to give two answers to that question. The first is, if you go by reports that go around, LinkedIn reports and several other trade reports, they all list UX design as one of the top 20 careers to go after, not just in design, but worldwide, right? That's what it is. But as an educator, as a design practitioner, I want to say something else as well. That's what I've quoted statistics. I think that you have to choose a course that you are deeply interested in. Education and career takes a big part of your life, and it cannot be only about which is an in-demand course. It is about something that you are excited about, something that you are willing to devote yourself, enjoy, because it's your life partner. Career is your life partner. So choose wisely, not only the prettiest life partner, but choose the one that you can be in love with, you can stay with for a long time, put in hard work without feeling that it is hard work. I'm sitting here outside, at this time, 8:45 in the night, talking to you with all energy after putting my entire day at office. Why? Because I absolutely love to work with people for their learning. And that is what helps me keep my energy up at 8:45. Not because it's a great career to be in, because LinkedIn calls it a great career. Okay. So the statistics says that the most in-demand course leading up to number of job placements is UX. But please choose what your heart loves.
Prachi, if I may quickly interject for a second here.
Yes, please do.
So I know a lot of you would have the same question, and just to let you guys know, if you do a little bit of research, you would see that design is one of the fastest growing around the world. Everything is going digital. And you would have seen, everything first, it was we started having static images. Now the world is moving towards videos and animated video images. So gradually everything is moving online and getting digital. So as in how this transformation starts taking, is already happening, the demand for design and for different aspects of design is only going to grow. And this is something very evident if you quickly go to naukri.com or any of the job portals and search for whether it's UI UX, whether it is for communication design, or whether it is for a graphic design. You would immediately see the amount of job openings right in the start, just under the search, you would be able to see the number of job openings. And then with little bit of research, you can see that the average salary for a fresher starts anywhere between 4 lakhs and goes upwards from there, depending on your skills and your portfolio.
Thanks, Suyash. I see a question from Dipali. Can communication design be done completely online with IIAD? Dipali, I just want to clarify to you as well as to everybody that IIAD is a on-campus learning space. So all courses offered by IIAD are on-campus courses, right? And they are undergraduate and postgraduate courses. And Academy, which is part of IIAD, is exclusively dedicated towards learning design online. So communication design, you can learn online with and Academy. Okay.
Okay, but here, Prachi, when you mentioned that on campus plus live online, so that's where the confusion came.
Yeah, so I'll explain that again. Thanks, Dipali. The PG Diploma Communication Design is a unique course which is only for postgraduates. First, it is a one-year course. It has 2 terms. The first term is full-time on campus, which the classes will happen on the IID campus. Okay, 5 days a week. First term, 20 weeks term. Okay. After you finish your first term, the second term, during the day you work on an internship. In the evening, you learn one of the specializations, UX, motion graphics, or digital brand communication, whatever you choose. You learn one of these through online. So first term is on campus, second term is online. Did you mean to ask me that can you do the first term also online? Was that your question?
Yeah. Yes.
So what you can do as an alternate, the PG diploma course requires first term on campus, but as an alternate, what you can do is that you can first enroll for our graphic design course, which is a 20-week course, and that is online. The learning outcomes are similar to the first term of PG diploma term 1, right?
Okay.
Except for the fact that it is going to be more intense because it is full-time, 5 days classes. You have classes for 16 hours a week. You have your work on your own for 16 hours a week. So that's, the same topics, but done with more depth on campus. The alternate, if you cannot come to the IID campus, do a full-time first term, full-time on campus first term, the good alternate is to first enroll for a graphic design program and then enroll for one of the UX, motion graphics, or digital brand communication. Dipali,
Okay.
Was that clear to you?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Prachi, I think we are left with just one question from Anudeep.
I've answered that.
Yes, ma'am
I've
answered.
answered that, Suyash. I've
Right.
taken that. I'm just going to wait for another 30 seconds if anybody wants to put in another question. We've already overshot our time by 7 minutes, but we'll still wait for 30 seconds. Anybody wants to put in a question in the chat, raise their hand, unmute themselves.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead.
My problem is about language. I don't understand in English, but in Hindi, I understand. Today you teach us that can I understand, but communication. मतलब
आप हिंदी में बात करिए मयूर मुझसे.
हाँ मतलब जो कम्युनिकेशन करना चाहते हैं ना हम वो हो नहीं पाता एक्चुअली म्हणजे हिंदी में अंग्रेजी में बोल नहीं सकता मैं.
मयूर, ये तो एंड एकेडमी के कोर्सेज जो हैं वो सारे इंग्लिश मीडियम के थ्रू,
हाँ इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में, सही बात
होंगे. सो और इसके 2 रीजन है, क्योंकि हमारे पास जो स्टूडेंट्स आएंगे वो भी इंडिया के डिफरेंट पार्ट से आएंगे, तो ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि वो हिंदी जानते ही हों. और जो हमारे टीचर्स भी होंगे, हमने बोला है कि इंडस्ट्री के प्रैक्टिशनर्स आ रहे हैं. बहुत सारे टीचर्स जो हैं वो ज़रूरी नहीं है कि दिल्ली या दिल्ली के आसपास के हों. दे मे कम फ्रॉम डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ द कंट्री. कोई साउथ इंडिया से आया है, कोई ईस्ट इंडिया से आया है, बंगाल से आ रहा है, या बेंगलोर से आ रहा है, या बॉम्बे से आ रहा है. ज़रूरी नहीं है कि सब लोग हिंदी में फ्लुएंट हों. मैं दिल्ली से हूँ, मेरी मदर टंग हिंदी है, मैं आपसे इस समय हिंदी में बात कर रही हूँ, लेकिन ज़रूरी नहीं है. तो ये एक डेफिनेट कंसर्न है. अगर आप इस जंग से लड़ने के लिए तैयार हैं तो आप वेलकम हैं, बट इट इज द I mean, the means of communication, the language that we will be using primarily is supposed to be English, because we do expect, we have students from all over the country and teachers from all over the country coming in. ठीक है मयूर?
ठीक है, मेरे को इंग्लिश समझ में आती, लेकिन मैं बोलने में दिक्कत नहीं। वो इसके वजह से वो जो कम्युनिकेशन है टीचर और स्टूडेंट के बीच में,
तो आप ऐसा भी हो सकता है, देखिए आपके पूरे बैच में एक आध जना कोई आप अगर समझ सकते हैं, जो क्लास में डिलीवरी हो रही है वो आप समझ सकते हैं।
हाँ, समझ सकता हूँ,
है ना? आपको अपनी बात समझाने में तकलीफ हो रही है, अगर हिंदी बोलने वाला टीचर और क्लासमेट्स मिल गए तो वो आपकी बात समझ जाएंगे। और नहीं अगर वो आपकी बात पूरी समझ पाए तो फिर कोई और जना आपको मदद करेगा। लेकिन मयूर, मेरा आपको सजेशन, अगर आप पीजी डिप्लोमा की बात कर रहे हैं तो फिर आगे प्लेसमेंट के लिए आज की दुनिया में, अच्छा लगे हमें बुरा लगे, but to be part of a career we all need to have some command over English, but maybe we can talk to you separately. You have a unique case, maybe we can talk to you separately through our counselors and then figure out some way for you, right Mayur?
हाँ बराबर, सही है।
ठीक।
Right.
Anybody else that has a question? Okay, thank you everybody for being with us, giving us 1.5 hours of your evening on a weekday. I just hope sincerely that this has been helpful for you, and we would look forward to seeing you sometime in an AND classroom. And even if not, I wish you all the best. I hope that you find your calling in life, you find a career that you can be excited about, and you find a way to realize your dreams, whether with AND or any other place. Make a sound decision about the career and who do you study for that career. Thank you everybody, and good night.